Why hello there, Isaac. Do you think I can borrow a little bit of your suit? Just a small amount, like a crab size amount. I need it for a little project.
No worries, I got you fam. Here you go.
Oh my god, thank you. Have fun murdering hundreds of innocent people. Dude, Dead Space. Where do I get started with Dead Space? Dead Space is like, well, I mean, at the very least the second one. The first one is okay, I'm not a terribly big fan. The third one can kind of die. But the second one is nice. So I'm going to do a little video on it. So this one is going to be summing up the main story, and then I'm going to do little sections like the environment and weapons and characters. So yeah, enjoy me talking about the campaign for like 20 minutes and trying to figure out what language I'm speaking, because I don't know. But yeah, grab some like prawns or something if you have prawns. I don't know. Do I even have prawns? I don't think I have prawns. Okay, if you have prawns, eat them. If you don't have prawns, I don't know, find something else. And yeah, sit back and relax and enjoy the epic beansiness of me trying to figure out what the plot of this game is.
Isaac, can you hear me?
This is Franco. Franco's one of the super epic characters that we're going to be meeting throughout the game. There's a couple of other ones, but I'll show them later on. But there's a problem. There's some spooky boys around. But the good news is they can only hear certain noises. They can only hear when someone clicks. Clicking sounds an awful lot like their mating call. So as long as no one clicks their fingers... Oh my god, Franco, what have you done?
I know you're confused right now.
You fool, are you kidding me? You're literally going to have killed everyone. This entire station's going to blow up because you know... Oh no, human. Your friendo's just been stabbed in the literal arse. What will you do to save him? A. Shoot your weapon. B. Run away. C. Stare at him? Well, that's an interesting strategy. I wonder how that's gonna go. Yeah, about how I thought it would go. You right there, buddy?
Help me.
Well, he looks stable. Let's just go around.
Just cut me out of the straight check.
How about new?
The rig is red.
Well, no shit, you stabbed me.
Is that you?
This is Dana.
My name is Dana.
That is what I just said.
I don't really like her, but luckily she flies out of a window, so... Don't worry guys, I know something so scary, it'll make them flee in terror.
Beans.
Oh, hey! When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs.
Now in this part of the game it introduces kinesis. Now kinesis is very important because you need to use it to stab through stuff like glass. You can also use it on enemies if you're dumb. Is that a box lid? So until you get the plasma cutter, you can't get past this guy, so no matter how many times you throw a bin at him, he will not break. I don't know which is stronger, the person or the bin.
Help me! Are you a doctor?
Why yes I am. So I'm pretty good with the guns. Isaac, kick his ass. I have no idea what this is.
Isaac, it's Dana. You have to dismember the creatures to stop them.
I know. I've had a lot of practice.
I do hate how they force the tutorials down your throat. Like Dana, I just killed a man and default dance on his corpse. I know what I'm doing. Okay, what? You're telling me that one of the necromorphs decided to just randomly combust and set an entire hall on fire? Why would one of them just randomly catch fire? Ah yes, the rare Beanzy fish. Never seen one in the wild before. Hey, someone finally put out the fire. Did someone break the table over someone's face? So that over there is Strauss. He's a little bit confused as to why Isaac didn't decide to run for the door, but Isaac has his own important things going on. He looks a bit derpy, but trust me, he's actually quite a good character.
There's a security lockdown.
I told you to hurry. How'd you miss it?
So Dana decides that the best way to help is to leave us to our death.
Let's see how long we last that.
Yeah, bring it on, Dana. I can do this all day.
Dana, I do need your help.
Simp. So this zombie right here, for some reason, will not die unless you stasis him first, and he also insta-kills you, which is fun. He even does some sick tricks, and he still kills you though. Like, why do we have to stasis him? If we don't know how to stasis, that's our fault, not yours. Like, what kind of tutorial is this? If I don't know how to stasis them, that's my problem. Oh god, he's turned into a helicopter. Isaac, call the National Guard. So Isaac decides to travel all the way to Dana, because Dana promises him food or something, getting the occasional phone call from Strauss.
Nope.
Hey Dana, there's this crazy guy that keeps contacting me.
He's not that crazy. Okay, he's a little bit crazy. So getting to Dana requires us going through a trash compactor instead of just walking, but the thing doesn't freaking work. Well, you heard her lads, it's safe. There's no way there could possibly be any enemies down here. Isaac's not like having a fit or anything, sometimes I get bored, so I randomly decide to spam the plasma cutter. Just ignore me. Is that bananas? The bananas are evolving and using humans as transport now, so I'm just going to chop them into oblivion. Isaac gets spotted by an enemy gunship, but the gunship forgot to reload its guns or something, so it just runs away.
Here, hurry.
So we finally reach Dana, and surprise, she's a bad guy.
Why did I trust you?
I genuinely don't know. Why did you? Luckily for us, and unluckily for Dana, the gunship finally managed to reload its weapons and then murders everyone. Isaac escapes down an epic shaft that was just there for some reason. Don't worry, Isaac. You're safe now. Nothing can possibly go wrong in here. I lied. Gunship tries to eat Isaac, but luckily he holds on, except for Fat Boy here, who just comes barreling towards him and knocks him into space. Isaac gets all angry and blows up the ship, but for some reason he survives the explosion that should definitely have killed him and flies through someone's window. Strauss contacts us and says he wants ice cream, which, to be honest, it's a pretty good mission, so we accept it. On the way we meet Ellie, who's having a very interesting conversation with the necromorphs.
Other people are just a liability.
A liability? I've got a suit of golden armor, I've killed half the station in less than an hour. How am I a liability? So we find Ellie and decide to escape on an epic train that we have for some reason.
Wait, you're CEC?
Heavy equipment pilot, class 4. You?
Engineer.
Nerd. Figures.
And then they fell in love. Tideman decides to cut the power now instead of cutting the power like half an hour ago when I couldn't breathe and would probably have died. So we go to turn the power back on. On the way, bananas try and ambush me, but I've seen this shit before, so... Yeah, nice try, bananas. Really impressive. And then we have a lovely peaceful elevator ride, where nothing happens. Yeah, it's not how Dead Space works. On the way up, we find the scariest enemy of all. Birds. Isaac decides he doesn't like how creepy this weird woman is, so he decides to shut her down.
Is not authorized to access this area. Please step away from the door. Rig authorization recognized. Greetings, Station Watchman Howard Phillips.
For some reason this bird is completely bulletproof.
Station Watchman Howard Phillips. Please provide verbal access code to authorize your guest.
Well, that's probably not going to happen. Hold on, let me just hack through your security real quick. Still confused how these necromorphs tore an entire station in half when I can defeat one with a barrel. No, don't jump into that, you... Oh.
Initiating system lockdown.
Are you serious? Yeah, I'm just gonna go. We tried to hack the panels, but unfortunately our enemy got here first. Yeah, there's bananas in the circuitry now. For some reason. Stop it, bananas. Stop it. Don't bully me.
Damaging the mainframe circuits will cause lapses in programming. For your safety, step away from the circuits.
So this is apparently their version of creating power, like making a laser beam? Isaac decides to take the fast way home. Ellie tries to open the door for us, but she's not doing a very good job.
Yes, I'm authorized for this.
We managed to find Ellie, but I think old mate there is losing his mind. We enter Tideman's washing machine and he gets really angry and locks us in it for some weird reason. Do you really think that's going to stop me? We go to find Ellie, but it turns out that this little dude right here has literally headbutted a hole in the frickin' completely indestructible glass. Okay, now this part is actually really fantastic, so listen to this. So Tideman decides to cut the station in half using the beam we turned on earlier. So here's Isaac's solution. He's going to use the ship from the first game to drag the entire station back towards him. Like, is that not the coolest thing in the entire world to you? Because that is awesome to me. Of all the stupid reasons that people have gone back to the first map, this is literally one of the best reasons I've ever heard. Like, that's a legitimate thing. This ship literally grabs rocks and pulls it towards it. This is perfect. Oh no, Tideman, it sure would be a shame if I used my ship on your literal rock. So we go in the Ishimura to have a look around. On the way we find an inconspicuous group of boxes. Just kidding, it's a brute. What are you even doing in there? We get trapped in a quarantine, but don't worry, they can't get through because there are these metal grates, so as long as they stay up. Tideman gets really angry that we are literally stealing his station. I don't know, Tideman, you sound pretty angry to me. Isaac uses one of the ship's escape pods to fire himself into the station. But because he can't fly, he ends up crashing the bloody thing. And then Isaac dies. Just kidding. This is the transport that Ellie and Stross are on, the two people I'm with, and they are definitely dead because they weren't wearing seatbelts, So presumably they got ejected out of that thing at Mach 10 and went straight through a wall. Stross wants to add our eyeball to his eyeball collection because he's just lost his mind. But luckily Ellie's here to murder him. Bonk. How did he get up from that? He's definitely dead. So Stross tries to murder Isaac and he succeeds, and that's the end of the game. Just kidding. In reality, Isaac steals the screwdriver from Stross. This is the face of a man who definitely knows what's about to happen. And then he stabs him with it. But it's a friendly stab, so it's fine. I felt bad for Stross, so I decided to give him a proper funeral. Isaac's imaginary girlfriend turns up and somehow breaks his neck. How? But you're a ghost. What? Oh, you're looking for footage. I don't have any more. So I kind of lost the final, like, hour of the game. Or I didn't record it. That's probably the more likely one. But that's okay, I do have a Beanzy crab, and he loves you. So what I can do is sum up the ending with cute little crabs. Does that work for you? It's gonna have to, because I don't have anything else. So after stabbing Stross in the literal neck, Isaac decides to go down into the mines, where he finds Ellie and also a really big digger thing. He turns the digger on and decides to ram it straight into Tideman's nose. He makes a big hole in the wall which lets all the necromorphs in, which is Tideman's very angry about, but Isaac doesn't really care because he has the high ground and watches as all of Tideman's friends die, which is a bit brutal, but in his defense, actually no, that's just murder. So Isaac's weird wife ghost, who's a good guy now even though she broke his face, tells him that he can destroy the big thing that's making all the zombies, but first he has to stab his eye with a needle. So Isaac and Ellie go down into this thing and Ellie finds a ship. So she goes on top of it like an absolute melt and then decides to poke it. So Isaac traps her in it and sends her off into space, saving her life. Aw, you're so nice, Isaac. Too bad that, you know, the oxygen in the ship didn't work. You've got no proof it does. So you've just killed Ellie. Nice one. After Ellie flies away, Isaac goes in and stabs his needle with this weird machine thing, which apparently activates his brain or something, because he couldn't do that without a needle. I don't know how brains work. And then Isaac decides to go and try and stab the marker, but before he can get anywhere near it, Ubermorph appears, and Isaac just kind of shoots it. So then it's an epic gauntlet of Isaac just kind of charging at the marker, and the Ubermorph trying to stop him. Trust me, it's much better than it sounds. And then the epic final battle, which it's not really a final. Basically, you just shoot the Ubermorph into a fan and it glitches out and respawns. But it's cool. Trust me. Then Isaac goes to give the marker a poke, but Tideman shoots him with a bow and arrow. But unfortunately for Tideman, Isaac is wearing literal armor and it doesn't do anything. So Isaac kicks Tideman off a cliff and then gives his girlfriend a hug. No, isn't that sweet? No, it's not. You know why? Because his girlfriend tries to eat him. Because she's part of the marker or something. I don't understand how that works either. So she tries to eat him, so he shoots her in the nose, and then the marker dies. And because the marker dies, the entire station blows up and Isaac dies. RIP. And that's the end. No, Ellie comes back because she can fly, because remember, she's a pilot, which is actually cleverly foreshadowed, I'll give her that. So she flies it, and then he goes into it, and then he falls off and gets eaten by the engine if you don't press A enough times or something. And then he goes in, and then the station blows up, and they fly away and live happily ever after until the third game, which completely ruins it. So yeah. So that's the story of Dead Space. I haven't talked about any of the characters or any of the weapons or anything like that because I'm going to be doing a separate video on them. I'm probably going to do the weapons first because I like the weapons. Weapons are important. Also, one of them's a chainsaw. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have fun, I don't know, doing human things. I'll just be over here eating sand? I think that's what crabs eat. They eat sand, right? Hi there. I hope you enjoyed my first video. So this one's just going to be on the main story, and the other ones are going to be on like the characters and all that important stuff. If you want to see more of my Beanzy, I think this is the second one I've made, so there won't be that many at the moment, but if you're watching this in like a year or something, which I hope so, because that would be awesome, I should have a little thing up here right now that has all of the playlists. Well, the one playlist, I guess. They're under the Let's Rant videos, not to be confused with the Cuddles&Beanzy Show, which is the gaming thing. So yeah, if you want to see more crab stuff, this is the one to go to. And if you want to see more gaming stuff, I guess, because I've done an entire Let's Play on Dead Space 2, which I'll probably have, like, right here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and if you're, like, one of the only 3 people on the planet that got to the end of this video, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna go munch sandwiches.